Thank you, Iona. Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you. Um, yeah, Ruben, is it Raya or Raya?
It's long E. It's Regia.
Rhea. Rija.
Although um my the Armando Bronze, our vice president, says Reja, and I love that too. So so
Thank
either
you.
one or
Thank you.
anything.
And Christina and Joan and Frank and Hup and Iona and others may drop in. I have a brief thing to read about solstice, which is today. And um, yeah, I'm finding it timely. There are moments in history that don't announce themselves loudly. They don't arrive with fireworks or headlines. They arrive as thresholds, felt more than seen. This weekend is one of them. Between December 19th and 23rd, we are moving through a rare convergence. A new moon in Sagittarius, the winter solstice arriving almost immediately after, and 3-1 Atlas, an interstellar object passing through our solar field from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation. Most people will move through these days as if nothing is happening. And it's happening in the deepest layers of the psyche. Sagittarius is not just about optimism or adventure. At its core, it governs belief systems, truth seeking, and the expansion of consciousness. A Sagittarius new moon doesn't ask, "What do you want?" It asks, "What do you believe is possible?" Now layer that with the solstice. The moment the sun stands still, light is reborn from darkness in the northern hemisphere, and we enter a symbolic reset point that civilizations across time have marked as sacred. This is not goal setting energy. This is orientation energy. Where are you shining your life force? At the same time, 3-1 Atlas passes through our cosmic neighborhood, an interstellar visitor originating beyond our solar system, carrying material older than Earth itself. It doesn't come with chaos. It doesn't come with drama. It comes quietly. In ancient cosmologies, wanderers like this were seen as seed carriers, messengers that activate awareness rather than events. You may not see anything happen, but many will feel something shift. Subtle restlessness, a pull toward meaning, the sense that an old internal storyline is no longer viable. This is not imagination, it's resonance. Here is the part most people don't want to hear. Not everyone will experience this shift in the same way. Some will become co-creators of what's emerging. Some will move through it in complete unconsciousness. Some will actively resist it. And the world will continue to divide along these lines, not morally, energetically. This weekend quietly seeds what 2026 and 2027 are about to amplify. The real New Year isn't January 1st, it's now. You were not brought into this moment randomly. Your energetic blueprint, your nervous system, emotional body, perception, and design is already responding to what's unfolding. You don't need to force intentions. You don't need to manufacture resolutions. This is a time to listen, not push, to feel what is emerging from within, not decide from the mind. From December 19th through the 23rd, the newness isn't loud, it's deep. Felt beneath language, felt beneath habit, felt beneath conditioning. This is where the next era begins. Quietly, internally, truthfully. The choice isn't whether the shift is happening. The choice is whether you meet it consciously. So that's very nice. I feel solstice time, our longest night, and yet coming to light. So we are on page 50, and it's chapter 8, Identity Thinking. I haven't read the whole book, but I have read this chapter and chapter 9, and I have found them the most absolute, no wiggle room, just the most absolute, powerful, and holy reading. Um, and I imagine you will too. Because of that, this first section, being and relationship, it's, I don't know how many, 6 paragraphs, perhaps. I own it. If you are willing, I would ask you to read the entire section. They're just, I found nowhere to intercede in what was being said. It's quite profound. Anyway, if you would be willing.
And also, I see Frank and Ruben have their hands up as well.
Oh,
So
I'm
maybe do you want
sorry.
to go ahead?
My screen is not low enough to see them. Okay, Frank, sorry.
Well, I just want to know, make sure that this uh uh is recording. All
Yes,
right.
it's
Fantastic.
recording.
Thank
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Ruben.
Frank?
Yeah, great reading there, Bonnie. I just wanted to share something that's so appropriate to that because I had checked this morning and winter solstice, I didn't know it was a specific time. It was supposed to be 10:31 a.m. today. So I did my sunrise ceremony this morning, knowing the sun was going to stop right there and start moving the other direction. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just sitting here feeling like I'm on the verge of tears and love and uh, the consciousness of being able to choose to create that kind of energy and then bring it into daily life and then to share it with a group that's magnifying it even more. So thank you.
Thanks, Frank. Iona?
Identity thinking, being and relationship. You may wonder, beloved of my heart, why we talk about your ability to hear the voice of love in your heart in a work that helps you remember what it is like to be in the world without being of it. I respond with love. You always relate based on your identity. First, you determine who you are, and then you establish a universe of interrelationships with all things, with yourself, with my being, with others, as well as with everything that surrounds you. That web of connections is something created from you to everyone and everything based on a single response to the question which asks, who are you? The thought that contains within itself the question and the answer of who you are is entirely one of identity. The power to create your experience resides in it because it is the only thought that exists. Everything in creation arises from identity thinking, and all relationship is based on it. By deciding who you are, by answering the question of identity, you define your existence, not your being, nor the truth of who you are, but the relationship that you establish with your existence and consequently with everything. Because you relate based on the thought of your identity, you listen to the voice that emerges from it. For example, if you believe you are a finite being who has come into the world and then ceases to exist after having spent some years in the realm of time, your relationships will reflect the ephemerality of that identity. If you think about yourself as part of a filiation who came to suffer and atone for sins, you will create experiences in harmony with that, and your relationships will bear witness to it. Likewise, if you recognize yourself as the holy child of the divine love you are, Your bonds will speak of truth. Now, you might ask, how could one possibly construct an entire world of interconnections and bonds based on what one really is not? That is something that can be achieved temporarily by ceasing to pay attention to the voice of truth within. First, one denies one's true identity, and then, as an inevitable effect, the mind disconnects from the voice of heaven that constantly reminds one of the holiness you are. Everything in creation is built on the foundation stone of the knowledge of what is. This includes the creative source itself and every aspect of creation. Without it, there could be no life or reality. Brother, sister, full of light, do not try to improve or change your relationships. They will be transformed, often even without you realizing it, into what Spirit has provided from all eternity as soon as you hand them over to love. Trying to build a new type of relationship through your mental criteria will not lead you to fulfillment, because a separated mind does not understand what the relationship is, nor its purpose. Believing that you have a relationship simply because you have physical, mental, or emotional proximity, or a connection of more subtle ties such as family or cultural heritage, misunderstands the true meaning of relationships, which have nothing to do with form. Truly, truly, the only real relationship is communion, which is not a mechanism or a system, nor is it, quote, of the old world. Communion is an essential part of who you are. It is a constant and uninterrupted exchange of love between what I am and what you are, and from our union with all living beings in an infinite degree, beyond the limited way of thinking about relationships that a truth-denying mind has. In the state of communion, you know oneness with everything. You experience freedom by being who you are at all times and in all circumstances. Consequently, the relationship ceases to exist as it was previously conceived and becomes a reflection of the state of union. In it, you know that everyone is equal, having the same fears, desires, and joys. You understand that what your brothers and sisters are doing is walking through the human experience just like you, no more, no less. In a broader framework, you also recognize that everyone who inhabits the universe of time is doing the same thing, although in different ways. To return to love, they are going through the experience of separation.
Everyone to return to love. Everyone is going through the experience of separation. If we could just, thank you, Iona. This feels so holy. If we could just sit for just a minute with it. Oh my, you guys. This cannot be replicated any other way but through our feelings, art. Is there anything anyone would like to reread or share? And I can't see hands for some reason.
This is Iona.
Yes. Thank you.
Wow, that was incredible to read that. I think we all know that relationship is key, right? Our relationship is, we've heard it, it's where we find ourselves. It's where so much happens in relationship. But this took relationship into a whole different stratosphere of importance. Like our minds cannot actually comprehend this divine mechanism of relationship that's been given to us, and what the gifts it actually gives us is beyond our mental constructs. And so whenever we think this relationship's not working out, or I wish it were different, these are all of the mind. And when we go beyond that and realize that what's really important is that communion, and then the relationships will work themselves out. That is, it's huge and it's beautiful. And I also thought of it in the context of this day and age where, if you think back 30, 40, 50 years ago, our relationships were maybe with our family, with the people that we work with, there's a certain sphere of influence of relationships that in this day and age is completely different. If you think about what's going on in just text messaging and social media and all these things, these are all forms of relationship, and it's on this hyper speed right now. The amount of interplay that's going on between beings. And I think it's no coincidence that that is happening at this time with everything that's going on. That the relationship is really a huge part of society today, much more than it ever was. So there's a lot, like you said, in here. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you. Yeah, what came up for me when I first read it was that as simplified as that lesson in the Course in Miracles, I give everything all the meaning it has for me. You know, that chair, there just simply is no separation. Yeah, poof. Frank, Ruben, I didn't see
I
your
felt
hand.
kind of strange holding my hand up that long.
I'm sorry. I'll catch it. Yeah.
Not a problem. I'm just laughing at myself. Uh, wow. I'm so struck by this because this goes back so many years, but was so foundational to recognize that I had that choice. Didn't know it then to the degree I know now of which voice is speaking from which framework. And it was the experience of the untethered soul where it actually asked me to take that voice out and set it on the seat beside me and hear what it has to say. And so that recognition, boy, when I really started watching that inner hidden conversation, it was a joke with him and became one with me as I scooted over in the car as far as I could because that sucker was crazy. But it became the recognition of that voice. And here's the idea for me that I would like to share. It's become a point of choice, the point where we make a decision one way or the other. Which thought system am I going to choose? And that's the birthing self, that I that can choose for me. And the instant that I feel the separation from having chosen the wrong voice also includes a recognition that, whoa, that's a part of me that needs to be recognized and experienced. That process for me pulls me back into the wholeness of the moment and then the sharing with Jesus and Mary because they're there to help me inside the mind to handle this moment, not make the choice. But now that I'm in that framework, I can walk through the world with Jesus and Mary. And it's, boy, what a great pair of company to walk the world with. So there's that. But and I don't know how much of this I want to share other than imagery, which I've done many times. I hope I can convey that. That point of choice is felt in the body and it is sacred. And I had to look for a way visually for me to capture that and then share it with others that didn't have, because my work didn't have that framework or even necessarily interest. But in the moment we separate in any event or situation in life, the reaction inside, just picture an old kitchen match just flaring up. That's our in the moment reaction. And it is sacred. And you can learn to feel it flare up. Don't even try to put it out. And feel the flame die down, feel the heat. And it's so easy to put out that reaction now, the energy of it. We are at the point of choice here. Now I can choose to look at my moment with the grandest company you could ask for and walk through this moment differently than I did in the past. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, for me, it's like both the and anymore. It's like my ego will act up. I'm aware of it. And I see you, I hear you. Thank you. And I'm going over here rather than this, no, be gone. It's a dynamic. That's what these next couple of chapters for me are. the words for me explain the dynamic that I am in a way that at this point in my life and evolution, that I really, really wear it. I own it. It's like, yeah, yeah. God, I'm so grateful. Ruben.
I just wanted to read the first paragraph,
Yeah.
and after that, I share something, my experience with all this chapter. Being in relationship. You may wonder, beloved of my heart, why we talk about your ability to hear the voice of love in your heart. In a word that helps you remember what it is like to be in the world without being of it. I respond with love. You always relate based on your identity. I repeat that one. You always relate based on your identity. First, you determine who you are, and then you establish a universe of interrelationship with all things, with yourself, with my being, with others, as well as with everything that surrounds you. That web of connection is something created from you to everyone and everything based on a single response to the question which asks, who are you? Who are you, Ruben? And I was in a very dark place when somebody asked me, Ruben, who are you? Are you a body with a spirit? Or are you a spirit with a body? In all my life, at that point, I always listened to the body, forget about the spirit. But I was tired. I was so tired. When I went deep in my reflection, in my thinking, I believe I am a spirit, because at that time my relationship with Jesus, it was so strong that I realized I am a spirit. I am a spirit. I realized too at the moment, in some way I was letting the physical go and embrace and being embraced by the spirit. By the spirit. And I start to listen to the voice. And I let the voice lead the way. That voice took over my work, my life. It is a beautiful relationship. It's like having a friend there. Jesus and the Holy Spirit was there. Now the Spirit of the truth. So yes, and that was 2005, 2006. And miracles start to happen and happen and happen and happen. After that, I learned to trust that voice, the voice of the Spirit, the feeling. I didn't know what was doing it, and I didn't care, but the feeling. And because all the experience, it just brought me to this moment, to this instant, there is eternity. And I'm just give myself to this, even there is no more instant. There is only eternity. There is only love. But I am so grateful to the past, because without the dialogue, without intellect, the relationship with all the, in my own experience, is being embraced. So everything is a spirit. Now with Sebastian readings, writings, everything is being held by love. So everything is a spirit, everything is love, everything is oneness, everything is mind. Everything is harmony, peace, and joy. So that's who I am. That's who you are. And that's my response to everything. Somebody approached me 2 or 3 days ago, Ruben, one of my neighbors, she had coronavirus, she believes. And I believe I got it too. And I say, it's just a thought in your mind, but you know the truth of who you are. You are love. And I believe coronavirus is there, but we give we just give the label, but in reality, in a deeper level, is love. Go to the deeper level, embrace the truth of who you are, and from that place, see it. And it's love. It's just you. It's just you. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. I saw him this morning. We're peace. We're joy. We don't talk about none of the stuff. We just let love lead the way. And it is a continuous remembering anyway. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you, because to just let the spirit lead the way. And you did it. I'm complete. Thank you.
Joan and then Rita. You're on mute, Joan.
Okay. Hear me?
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Bonnie, for the solstice reading. And I'm feeling a new relationship with the solar system. I'm falling in love with the solar patterns, the solar being, and letting that relationship rise in me. It's the sun has a new path, and I'm traveling that path as well. So I'm just so grateful to have this type of expansion to include the solar system and what is happening here in our with our being. So thank you. Just
Joan, thank you. I mean, there you are, you know. You are me, and I love the reflection. So thank you for your expression. I agree. Yeah. Uh, Richa, did you have your hand up? And then
Good.
Christina.
And then Christina. Okay. Yes, thank you. There was a part that we read that it sort of stimulated a massive memory. I mean,
Wow.
it's where it said, brother or sister full of light, do not try to improve or change your relationships. They will be transformed, often even without you realizing it, into what Spirit has provided from all eternity as soon as you hand them over to love. Trying to build a new type of relationship through your mental criteria will not lead you to fulfillment because the separated mind does not understand what the relationship is, nor its purpose. And I have an example, me. When I was 19, I tried to change my identity. I thought I could. I was reading this book. Well, it was from what I was studying in, I don't know, wherever I was. I was in some sort of school. And it was Maxwell Smalt's, oh, it was a how to control your mind. Like your mind is really a machine, right? And you can control it and you can reprogram it. So I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to reprogram my mind. Oh my God, what a disaster. What a total disaster because I was using, of course, my separated mind, the ego, to do this. And I really screwed everything up so bad that I had a nervous breakdown. And it was perfect, really. It was totally perfect because I lost what I lost was relationship. And I said to myself, wow, I couldn't have relationship. I mean, I was inside my mind and I couldn't have relationship anymore. And I thought, wow, how important relationship is. It's everything. It was such a wonderful lesson. And it also taught me that there's a center in this cyclone that never changes. And I know it. So even though everything on the outside was a mess and I couldn't, have relationship and I knew that center. So I got chills. I just wanted to share that part of it really resonated with me. And now when I move out of the way, all is well, right? We have to move out of the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How many here have had similar experiences? Yeah, thank you for sharing. Um, yeah, when we share my experiences, we match story and your healing is my healing. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. Christina.
Good morning. I respond to both of the previous ladies that spoke with Joan for the connection, the universal connection. I feel the energy transformations. It's so powerful. And I look at winter as the time when we root, when we put our roots into the ground, right? For the strength that gives us the strength. And I've been reflecting on that and then feeling all these different phenomenon coming together at one time just strengthens that power. And I loved that reading as well. I think it was so appropriate and so great that we're meeting on the solstice as well, right? It's something that happens a lot in our gathering, and I think it's just that joint energy. And to Joan, to Reja, when you spoke of that transformation through um, knowing that source within that never leaves and remembering and being able to connect on a level that we do and share seems to open that so that it's not just within us, it is expanding outward. and it is shared, and the power of that is beautiful. And I just thank each and every one of you for everything that we share together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. We have about 7 or 8 minutes, and part of our gathering is to go into silence and prayer. One thing I read recently was a Christmas, of course, is coming up, and the idea of at some point the wise men following the star. Many astrologers over eons believe that a heavenly body is able to enter our solar system as a heralding of a new era, and felt that that's what the star was that the wise men saw, and it's believed they were probably even astrologers, and but they saw it, they knew something new had birthed, and so it's easy for me to make up that, gosh, wouldn't it be awesome if this heavenly body coming through so unexpectedly is a heralding to the work that we have been doing in the age of the heart and awakening and consciousness. So, oh my goodness. So let's go for a few minutes into silence with however that presents for you um, as a feeling. And we can send that out. Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, my goodness, what grace this has been. Our communion. Have a blessed, blessed Christmas. And Iona, is there anything you want to share in terms of gatherings or anything?
Yes, I'll be sending out an email for classes next week over Christmas, but next Sunday we still plan to have class. Frank, if you're still, yeah, we're not stopping. We, of course, we will gather in the sacred place on Sunday again.
Awesome. I will be on the road to Sedona somewhere. So if I don't tune in, I'll be there anyway. Much, much love.
Yeah, same here, Bonnie. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love you guys. Ah,
Bonnie,
thank you.
could you send that reading that you did about solstice to me, and I
Yes,
could share it with the others in this group?
I would love to. I
Thank
would
you.
love to. Be well, be happy, be you, be you.
Hot dog.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Thanks,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, Joan, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.